it's Jenny. Welcome back to Solid Gold. I just got back this week from my trip to Japan and wanted to give you guys a little bit of an updated tour of my fish room and just share with you guys what's going on with all the fish out here. I think we should start over here with the fry because they've grown a lot since you guys saw them last. This week has been a very discouraging and down week for me as a fish keeper. I've had a few losses out here in the fish room that are still really recent. And you know, it's not so much like the individual fish that have passed away because, well, for me, like I only really get attached to like one or two particular fish, like Clyde, for example. I share my fish keeping journey with you guys here on YouTube, and a lot of you look up to me and look to me as a source of guidance for how to care for your fish. So I take it really hard when things go wrong for me. Some of you watching this channel may not realize that there's a lot of bad things about the hobby. There's ups and downs, like with everything, there's good times and there's bad times. The good times outweigh the bad times for sure, but when you're in the middle of a bad time, it can feel really just super discouraging and like you don't want to keep doing it. I want to make sure that I'm portraying an accurate representation of what it's like to be a fish keeper for you guys, so you don't have unrealistic expectations. And you know, when you run into problems, just be like, oh my god, Jenny never has these problems, what's wrong with me? You know, like, no, we all have problems with our fish from time to time. It's pretty unavoidable. So we'll get to that sad stuff in a little bit, but for now I want to start off happy and show you guys an update on the fry. If you were keeping up with my previous updates about the babies, you will know that they had been being fed with live baby brine shrimp that I was culturing in my brine shrimp hatcheries, and they have now completely graduated off of live baby brine shrimp. The baby brine shrimp were just way too tiny for these guys now. They are getting so much bigger. So what I feed them with now is I usually do at least 2 feedings a day. I do some frozen brine shrimp. Here's a good sized chunk of it that I'm gonna feed them now. They get so excited for this stuff, it's adorable. And I also give them some Soylent Green gel food. So these guys are currently about 7 weeks old. There it goes. Oh my gosh. I wanna see one come up and rip off a big chunk. Their mouths are all full, so they, oh, there they go. Look at them, they're like little ravenous sharks. I just did another cull of these guys this morning. If you've been keeping up with my previous videos, you already know all about that. And you have to keep up with it as they grow because some of the deformities and the issues with swimming and various things like that don't actually show up until the fish continue to grow a little more and put more size on them because they're just so tiny. And they're still developing. Some of these are going to turn out to be really nice butterfly telescopes. A lot of these actually have fused caudal fins though, which fancy goldfish are not supposed to have, with the exception of the tosakin, of course. But I'm still keeping some of those anyways, because if I only kept ones with split tail fins, I would be left with probably only about 10 of them. There's also a lot of them that kind of look like veil tails, and I'm really hesitant to keep them because even the actual veil tail variety, when it's a baby like this, it has a shorter tail. And there's a few in here. I actually did cull most of them because I'm very concerned about their survivability long term, but here's one kind of in the middle of the screen there that has a really long tail for the size of its body. And I think that long term that fish is not going to have very good survivability because when they're little like this, their tails are actually supposed to be pretty small in comparison to their overall body size, because when they're little, the bodies are what are growing, and as they age and grow up a little bit, the tails grow faster to catch up with the body size. So when a young fish like this already has a huge tail fin, it's usually a pretty bad sign, because as it continues to grow, the tail fin is just going to continue to take off in growth and become way too long, way too heavy for the fish to swim properly, and it's not going to have good long-term survivability. Some of them are already starting to develop some color too, like this guy up here. kind of looking like a panda today. There's another one in here that's starting to show some orange color actually. Here he is, like right in the middle of the screen. Also, some of their eyes are starting to pop out and actually look like telescope eyes, and they're just gonna continue to develop more and more, so it's very exciting. So that's what I have to update you guys on about the fry. Now let's take a look at the next tank. In this tank I've got 2 of my female butterfly telescope babies from my most recent batch of fry other than these guys. And you guys helped me name these ones. This one here is Sophia. She is one of the most interactive goldfish that I've ever had. She follows my finger around and tries to eat it like a fiend. She is so cute. What is she gonna do if I actually put my finger in there? Oh my god, so cute! And then back there we have Luna. Luna was named after my white butterfly telescope male named Luca because she looks just like him. They live here in one of my 40-gallon breeder aquariums. And then I have the other 2 female butterfly telescope babies that I kept from that batch in this 40-gallon breeder. These 2 are actually still unnamed. The black one here, she is, oh look at you. You're interactive today too, aren't you? She is starting to turn orange. And then this one here is my red and white one. Down here, of course, is my axolotl tank. They're doing well. One of my more recent videos was an update about them, so if you missed that, I'll put a link to it on this video to go check that out. Then over here, I have an empty aquarium, and this is where we start to get into some of the sad news. While I was gone in Japan, I had my boyfriend staying here and taking care of all of my pets. He actually is a fish person as well, with many years of experience caring for fish, so I trusted him completely to take good care of my fish, and I don't blame him whatsoever for some of my fish dying while I was gone. I honestly think that it would have happened whether I was here or not. So this was actually only about 2 days into my trip in Japan. My boyfriend came out to the fish room, was gonna feed the fish like, you know, the usual routine, and he noticed that the big female oranda from that tank was floating belly up. So she died in the tank, and he looked her over and she had no signs of anything being wrong with her. Thankfully, the male oranda was still swimming around just fine in there and seemingly doing great, so I don't know. Before I left, I actually filmed some footage of them over in my display tank, which is being kept over here right now. I set it up with my fake rock background and some nice sand substrate, and I filmed some footage of them swimming around in there. And it looks really awesome actually. I may still show you guys that video just because it's still a really cool video. So the male oranda who was left has been moved out of here. This tank is now empty. I'm going to break it down completely and probably bleach everything just in case. Moving on to the corner over here, we've got my group of 3 watonais. These guys are super fun. These guys get the most excited about food out of any of my fish. Let me show you guys. As soon as I walk up to their tank, they notice me. They're all begging for food. Look at them. They're smacking at the surface, waiting for the food. They know. Oh, come on, you guys. There we go. They get so excited. And then I've got my jikins over here. These guys are also doing great. I will say that after coming back from Japan and having the chance to see some truly high quality jikins in person, I'm kind of disappointed by mine. That sounds terrible. I still love them. They're great fish, don't get me wrong, but the jikins that I was able to see firsthand in Japan are so much better than these ones. Like, it doesn't even compare. They don't even look like the same variety. Moving on to my problem tank right now, which is unfortunately the tank that Clyde lives in. Clyde is fine. Then Mordecai down here has a whitish film all over his entire body and his tail, which is pretty concerning. He's also acting a little bit more lethargic than usual. Then over here is Loki, my male black butterfly telescope. He's acting pretty lethargic. He's also got some of the white film, and I don't know how well you can see it, but he has some white patches on his body too, and then he's got a couple of splits in his tail fin. And then here's Epona. Here's Corduroy. my male oranda, who used to be in the 40-gallon breeder tank. He's still doing well. Over here, we've got Banjo, and Banjo has the same problem as Mordecai with some white film on his body, but he doesn't have it nearly as bad. Actually, I don't really see much of any of it today, which is good. And then we've got this one that I never named. Actually, he's one of the ones that I bred myself a few years ago, and he has one outturned gill cover, you can see there. But this one was probably the most discouraging because he is starting to show signs of dropsy. I haven't taken a really close look today yet, but I think it actually may be better than it was yesterday. I did a treatment for these guys yesterday. I'm probably gonna talk about this more in a future video just so I can share with you guys what ended up happening to these fish and what helped for them, if it does indeed help, which I'm pretty hopeful today. As you can probably notice, there are some fish missing out of here. Luca, my white male butterfly telescope, passed away about 2 months ago. I think it was dropsy. I don't even remember for sure. I think it was dropsy, and I had to euthanize him. And he had increasingly difficulty with swimming, and his quality of life at that point was not very good. I started to just get really discouraged this week because I've had quite a few fish recently that had dropsy, and it's really starting to concern me. I'm trying this potassium treatment and salt, and hopefully things will start to look up. So then moving on to the female butterfly telescope tank, we've got Gwen, my calico female, we've got Queenie, my favorite female, we've got Lana, the black butterfly, and then over here is Lincoln. And Lincoln is the mother of my latest batch of fry that we saw in the beginning of this video. So in here there's also a fish that is missing, and that would be Kraken. She died, I would say, about a month ago, and it was really strange. One day I just came out to the fish room and found her floating dead. That was a sad day. It was not very expected. I don't really know for sure what happened, but I suspect that she was egg bound. So then moving over here, we've got my broadtail Moors. All 5 of them are still doing well. No issues here. They are still pretty skittish. They're all gonna swim away now that I'm looking at them. So that's about all I have for today's update video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little look around my fish room, even though I had to share some sad and bad news with you guys too. This hobby is about living things, and the sad thing about living things is that they do get sick, they do die, you know, bad things happen, no matter how much experience you have or how many things you're doing right. Rather than be that person that glosses over bad things and tries to make myself look so perfect and like everything is, I've got it together and everything is going great for me, I wanted to share with you guys the reality of fish keeping, and just so you know that, hey, sometimes there's going to be bad times in this hobby, but you can get through them. I also wanted to tell you guys that if you are anywhere near the Orlando and surrounding areas this weekend, I will be at Reefapalooza tomorrow on Saturday. So come by and see me. I've actually never been to an all saltwater event before, so I'm like not really sure what to expect, but I think I'll see some really cool things. I'm of course going to bring my camera along so I can make a video about it for those of you that can't be there, but I'm sure it's going to be a really fun time. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget about Solid Gold membership if you're looking for a really good way to help support me and my YouTube channel here. As you guys have probably heard, it's really no secret at this point that YouTube ad revenue is kind of experiencing an apocalypse right now. Ad revenues are down across the board for almost every single channel on YouTube, and my YouTube channel has been affected greatly by this as well. This is my livelihood, making videos for you guys, so it's a really scary time, but there's always ups and downs with YouTube, so I'm gonna stick in there and keep making videos despite this ad-pocalypse we're experiencing right now. But if you want to help support the channel, any help would be greatly appreciated. I do have Solid Gold membership options that I will put a link in the description section down below for you guys to check out if you are interested. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, stay gold.